Here we are kicking off Module 3. Module 3 is all things role play. Now when I say role play, I want to ask you something. If you ever played sports, if you ever were an athlete, did you love going to practice? I'm guessing you probably didn't. Now, let's take a step back here. Maybe some say I love practice when it was just a pickup game where we just played the game, we played scrimmages. That was fun. So it was great to just play the game at practice. But let's use basketball as an analogy. Who loved just dribbling in place? Who loved just running up and down, passing the ball across with a partner? Who loved just doing layups over and over and over? Probably not a lot of people loved practice. Would anyone say that that practice wasn't valuable, though? Would anyone say that the practice wasn't needed? I highly doubt it. We don't love it, but we know we need it to be able to play the game well. If we're just impatient and refuse to practice and just wait to be able to go play the game, there could be some disaster waiting to happen. This analogy, I think you're already connecting it, is role play. Role play is practice for realtors. And boy, you're not going to love it most of the time, but I hope you stop and realize how badly you need it on a regular basis. Real estate can be so tricky because you're called to play the game so many times. You're called to jump in over and over and over again, but if you don't let yourself have space to keep practicing, your performance is going to struggle. I really believe that. So this and the next few videos are going to be about practice. All the ways we practice, all the ways we get better at how we connect with people we work with and serve. Now this is certainly applicable to lead gen as well as clients and all sorts of scenarios we'll run into as realtors. We're going to cover the full gamut. And the goal is that we're going to do these simulations. We're going to talk about scenarios, tactics to connect with people, hopefully before you have to practice them on real people. The goal of this training is to give you a jump start to be able to serve, even if it's your first client, fairly well, instead of just totally stumbling through the gate and causing a mess practicing on someone who's looking to make perhaps the biggest purchase of their life. Let's try and avoid that. Let's take ourselves to practice. Now, to do some good role play, to do some good practice, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this great game that can help. This is connecting with people. It's a card game that is an amazing resource to help us do role play. Now, whether you have this in your office or not, you can certainly do the exercises, create them on your own. Now, if you'd rather not, highly consider buying one of these online. So what is this thing comprised of? What does this thing look like? So connecting with people, it's about practicing scenarios, building a relationship, handling objections, making sure we understand people. And we've got 3 different categories here that make up how we do this. First is our scenario card. The different settings or situations in which we would be connecting with someone. Well, we might have an outbound call that we have to do. Let's say that you get a referral from a friend and they say, hey, I know my uncle's good friend, they had their house on the market and they actually just canceled on their realtor, but they're still interested in trying to sell it. You should give them a call. Well, there you go, an outbound call for an expired lead. Maybe someone says to you, hey, I have someone down the street who's trying to sell their house on their own and it's been sitting there a long time. You know, I had a conversation with them, they're neighbors I know, we know each other okay enough. They said they wouldn't mind if you gave them a call. They didn't seem too excited about the idea, but hey, you should give them a call. And there we go, outbound call for sale by owner. There's other types of cards we have in here. We have open houses. We have inbound calls, aka someone calling you out of the blue. Hey, saw your profile online, saw the Zillow reviews you have. You seem like good stuff. I'm interested in maybe having you be my realtor. Maybe it's, hey, we both know someone in common. They said, you're a realtor, I should give you a call. There's an inbound call for you. There could be a social setting. We're out in public and you meet someone face to face. All sorts of scenarios that we want to practice that call for different approaches, right? Second card, the orange card. The personality of the person playing the lead. So using this card game is going to take two people, if that wasn't obvious. Someone's going to be the agent, someone's going to play the lead, and this would be that lead's personality. Now, this is definitely calling on realtors to double as actors, right? But there's some power in trying to give the full gamut of personalities we could meet in the real world. In this case, the lead you're going to meet is going to be impulsive, outgoing, and an optimist. Well, how you handle this type of person is different than how you handle a high-strung, pessimistic, impatient person, right? These would be two very different conversations, even if it's the same scenario, the same setting, right? This is a chance for us to practice some of our DISC skills. Can we pick up on what they're saying, identify who they are, and adapt our delivery, our approach? Can we mirror and match? Which is something we'll be talking about in depth in an upcoming video here. So can we pick up on their personality, and how are we at changing our energy, our approach to get through to them? Lastly, gray card, role details. When you start this game, if you didn't want to even design it, you could flip this over. Okay, outbound call expired. Now as the lead, I take my two cards and off we go. You give me a call as an outbound expired lead, and now I know my full details. I know my personality, and I know my criteria. What do we have on here? We have my occupation, my recreation, my family, pets, my buying criteria and or my selling criteria. What's my motivation? There's a surface motivation and a hidden motivation, because not everyone's going to be forthcoming to you about why they really want to make a move. Do we have the skills to uncover that? We have time frame and we have red flags. There are often issues that people might be dealing with that are worth us finding out, and varying degrees for those issues. Some are overcomable, some are things we can't help out with. Like if they're in foreclosure, that would be one of the ultimate red flags of, this is someone I can't help. I got to be able to identify that, hopefully early on, and point them to someone who could help them to the best of their ability given the situation. So can we uncover the red flags and understand the full picture of what's going on as we go into a meeting? Lots of information. Can we as realtors perfect our question asking to learn everything about someone? And when we learn everything about someone, we are better able equipped to help them. Wonderful game. Does a lot of work for us. Helps us set up a situation so we can just get to practice. Now again, if you don't have this, and I encourage you to consider buying one of these, you can create this, right? You can come up with a character, with their role details, with their personality. Definitely takes a little bit more effort. This helps you get ready to practice regularly and consistently. So, before you use this, I think it's good that we share some role play strategies, and that's what we're going to be covering over the course of the next few videos here. So get ready. These are going to be the tips and tricks, but some crucial things we look for when we're role playing coming at you, coming up in these next few videos.